driving home from Tuacahn.
Specifically, you wanted to punch someone?
Oh. You.
I don't remember.
You don't remember driving home with Brandon and?
Oh, I drove
Yeah.
home with Brandon for
Because you're using names.
for like 9 years.
Do you remember so-and-so?
Yeah,
No.
part of 10th grade.
Sometimes you rode home with us.
I don't remember that.
I didn't.
You
Hello
broke
and
my
welcome.
MP3 player.
I don't remember that.
You broke her
It's
DVD
true.
player.
My MP3 player.
I don't remember.
The VHS
Make
cassette.
sure it wasn't Brandon.
Yeah.
That sounds like Brandon.
All right, so
No, because it wasn't a.
if you guys remember, last time we had a bit of a battle. And those that didn't watch last time, we had a bit of a battle.
Should I?
And
We're still in the battle.
yes, technically
Okay.
you are in initiative. You
We're
had,
still fighting them.
yeah, there was one guy that was left. No, two guys that were left, and then there was
I'm surprised you got that. I know that's
there were two bullywugs left, and then there was also
What are they called?
they're called bullywugs.
Oh my gosh, that's
Isn't that the most
cutest
adorable name ever? They're hideous things though.
Yeah, but it's so cute.
It is one of the better names, I for sure.
Yeah,
There's-
that sounds good.
There's this one thing called a flump.
Flump?
It looks like it sounds. It's kind of like a
it.
jellyfish that flies.
I love it.
I was thinking something fluffy.
Totally.
I was thinking
What is that?
something.
It's a flump.
I was thinking something like Snorlax like, but like really fluffy.
I was thinking like a
That's
combination of like a Totoro and
Oh,
like
sure.
a rabbit type thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is
Cool,
Totoro
cool.
a rabbit? What is he?
Yes, kind of.
It's hard to say what he is. What
You're
he
talking about Japanese culture, who knows?
It could be
My kids
anything.
love that one, but they won't watch
That's
any
racist.
other one.
I just love
True.
Studio. I just love Studio Ghibli.
I'm just saying,
Me
I'm
too.
Western and I don't
Just
get a
Mononoke
lot of
is my favorite.
Eastern culture. Even I've lived.
So by the way, those of you who are watching the replay, we kind of wait a few seconds with nonsense to get it out of our system a bit. That's not true, but it's what we do. And mostly to wait for a couple people to pop on because
I love this because like looking in here, like we're sitting on the high chairs and then like you're just
I'm
sitting
channeling my
next to
inner gnome tonight.
You look very comfy.
Thank you.
You seen the picture?
yeah, let's say it. It's perfect. I
Man,
mean, I've
I look like. That's a little over a pound. I wasn't meaning that to be a swear, but it was.
All right,
We're back.
We're back.
And we're back. Oh, someone's here, or is that me? I
It's
can't
probably you.
A lot of people come, and actually, it's not accurate. When I left the stream last time, it said 73 people had watched, and about 20 were on consistently. So that thing is not even close to accurate. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get started. Owen,
What?
That's on like every like kids like YouTube. Like,
No,
toy
I'm
thing.
thinking
Oh,
more
no.
like
Owen Wilson.
No, well, it was Owen Wilson, but it was also Scott Pilgrim. It was them.
But it's on like every little kid's like toy with the stupid music that they
Hate it
have,
so
and then you
much.
do that, and it's so annoying.
So you're like way down low. It's like you can barely see you.
I'm a gnome.
Well, as long as we can hear you.
Okay. Let's get started. So the
This is
last
not
thing.
comfortable, right? How can you say that?
So last time on the show, what happened
Because
was
he's kind of in like the corner.
I'm in the crook.
yeah.
You're in the crotch of the couch.
It's good for next.
You heard it here first. All right. So basically,
Dad disapprove.
guys,
I'm
seriously,
so sorry.
it's hard for me to get focused if
I'm
you're not
working.
focused.
I'm working.
I need to switch the camera right now, otherwise I'm gonna lose my mind.
Why?
Switch what camera?
I gotta adjust.
Someone,
What is
someone
this?
calling?
Is that a mine?
Nope, that's his.
209. What do you want to bet this is a robocall?
Do it.
I'm not picking that up.
Why?
It's live. Do it. We're live.
No, what if
Want
it's
me to do it?
important? No.
Okay.
Okay.
What's
Sorry, I
important?
had to adjust. It was gonna drive me nuts. Did not
Why?
look good at all. We were pointing over here.
Oh.
Oh
That
yeah.
was better. Okay.
It's a lot more centered.
Okay. Thank you. And now we're starting. I will actually post beneath where we got started, so those that are watching the replay, you can kind of just skip all that. Anyway, now we're in. So last time we had been attacked. It was you had gone to scout. You went in the form of
A rat?
rat, and she went and scouted the lizard folk lair, so to
Yes.
speak.
I wrote it down, but I don't know where it went.
She was able to find a bit. She actually got pretty lucky. She got through all of it without really any problems, even though I
Weren't you a
just rolled
mouse?
horribly.
No,
She
it was a rat.
Rat.
But she managed to find
Mouse
what
would have been
looked
way
like
cute.
something like a queen inside of an old ruin.
Oh, and she
yeah.
knew who I
And
was.
she
Like, she
spot-
knew that I
she
was.
saw-
She saw through
She
you.
rolled a natural 20. She saw right through you.
I don't know. I had
Just
Oh gosh.
I had notes, but I don't know where they went.
It's gonna like hurt my eyes and ears and
So
face. All of this.
do you want
you're
this?
gonna have to let me know.
Can we
Don't you dare take it.
just out of nowhere, just have it show up. David.
I'll put it over here so I can drink it. Okay, so she went and she was discovered. She tried to hide behind some boxes, but was found, and then
But she
she
tried
ran.
to get me.
She did. She tried to get you, and she cheesed it out. She ran as fast as she could. See what I did there? Because it was a rat. Anyway, so
Rats don't like cheese. Just kidding. I
rats
don't
will
know.
eat people. They
I
don't
don't know
really care.
anything about rats.
You ever heard the torture method of putting a rat under
Yes,
a
yes, I don't.
It's horrible.
No, I
It's dark.
don't.
It's super dark. Anyway,
Yeah, they did it in
I like how
Game
you're
of
taking
Thrones.
like a lot of it. Oh, who is taking it first? I can't tell.
See, here's the
Do you
middle.
have?
I know that's
Right here.
There was like
but
30.
you're like diagonal.
It's fine. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can help me remember. Okay. All right.
all right. So
I came back and there was a fight going
you came
on.
back right when the fight started. Towards the beginning of the fight, you were at the top of the hill,
Yes.
shooting arrows down at them. And,
I did ice knife, and
you
it
did.
didn't hurt anybody in my party.
That's true. That's actually the win of the night. In my
Did I
opinion.
do moonbeam? I did moonbeam, didn't I?
You did. You scorched two of them big time. One lived. But yeah, and now we're at the beginning of this episode, and now the end of possibly this initiative, depending on what you guys do. But
There's two left.
there was that royal-looking bullywug running away
We're
on
being
his,
grappled by him.
currently being grappled successfully by him.
By
and he's making him afraid.
Had I
What's your name?
dealt any damage
gosh, I wanted to call him
to him
Alpha
at that point?
I don't
We
think
hadn't rolled
so.
anything.
If we did, we did. But if not, I'd say roll for it, just because that's where we're at. You
But
have
he
he's
needs-
running.
He needs
so
to
it's-
roll a saving throw, or his frog needs to roll a saving throw.
Is he on a
You
frog?
tell me what you're grabbing.
He's on a frog. I grabbed
Yes.
the frog.
Okay. Well, either way, he
Frog,
rolled.
You didn't grab him.
He rolled a 3, so
Failure.
yeah, that's a failure.
So
What was the initiative last time? Do you remember? Senor
Yeah, I
DM?
have the initiative, good sir. Please.
Because if
decide.
we are in an initiative,
What
I
was
would
that,
like
one or
to
a
act
seven?
on my turn.
Okay.
I'll roll again. I'm not sure.
Key, you were 23.
That's a
Also
9.
was 9. Tatiana
All
was 12.
right. And then
14.
So I think we ended on the round. At that point. We
Yeah.
ended the round. I remember that.
I also used Profane Life Leech.
We ended on his round, but we did finish it.
So his frog takes 17 points necrotic damage.
You hurt his frog?
Yes. And I grabbed.
Did
the
he croak?
Oh no. He said the thing.
This is Sanithar's guide. Right here.
Look. Where do you laugh?
So much.
Alright.
I love this so much. This is my favorite.
I'm channeling my inner gnome.
I love it.
Alright, so here's what happened. So when you grabbed onto the frog and started leeching its life out of it, you're getting life back, right? But you probably are.
In this circumstance, I think I'm full health.
I think
though.
you are. I don't
Yeah.
think you've been hit yet. I think it was just Mark that got hit.
Oh yeah, I got hit.
You got hit pretty hard, right?
Mm.
Oh, because they were throwing javelins at you. That's right.
And I got hit.
Yes, pretty hard too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I didn't.
I think
No,
I was
that
like
over.
the last
You've been
one
hit.
into the fight,
Okay.
and I was missing stuff, so
Yeah.
nothing.
And
They
you
didn't
did
take
all-
me seriously.
Not now. No, never.
Really looking down on you. Look at the video.
So anyway,
Let's go.
focus. All right. So I would like to get somewhere in tonight's campaign. So I'm going to TPK everyone. That's all.
Do it.
All right. So
I'd like to see
Wipe
you
it out.
try.
all
It's
of
true.
them.
Moonbeam. Just kidding.
Checkmate.
I bet
I
you
use
won't.
Moonbeam on the DM.
The DM rolled the natural one. All right. So
I cast sleeping on the couch. That's
he's
what you should
running. He's still running, but he's the frog is freaking out underneath him,
Okay.
and that's what happens.
I wanted to disable him. Can I like latch on and hang on?
You're currently grappling him, and you succeeded to grapple. So he rolled low. I just watched that part. So
Okay.
yeah, you're currently grappling him.
Okay.
You'd have to roll for it to get out, which
Alright.
is not a turn yet.
Alright.
All right, 23 is Yuki.
I would like to shoot Mr. Big Frog Man. Of many.
So far in the battlefield, just so you know, there's the royal guy on the frog, and then one other that she's currently fighting.
Going up the hill.
Yes.
I would like to. You know what? I'll just take a shot at him. Ooh, does an 20 hit?
It does indeed.
And which one's the D8? Sorry, that was a joke.
Hilarious.
Even
making
more
fun
when
of
you have
me?
to tell us that that's what
I'm laughing with you, not at you. 12 points of
Totally
damage.
making fun of
12
me.
points of damage
Uh,
to Croakington, the giant frog. Or by the way, I just named him Croakington.
You just got the croaking
Sir
joke.
Croakington.
No, I just named the big frog
You just-
Croakington for my personal use. Sounds funny.
Yeah, that was 12 points damage because
12
I.
points of damage.
Me.
He was a little bit, yeah. To the big frog or the big old
Big man.
big
Are we
boss
still
man?
going? Because I'm having a hard time pulling up. Like,
Oh, it's still going. I can
Okay.
see it right here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yep, it's
All right.
going.
It's live.
I mean, even if it's just us, people watch the replay, so it doesn't really matter as long as it connects it. It just
No.
gets floppy and weird.
No.
You know what? All right. So next we got. Were you doing anything else for your turn?
I'm going to move towards him. Wait,
you're
Yeah.
the one that's attacking me, or
there's
what
one
was that?
attacking you, or there's I thought.
There's one attacking her. That's headed up the hill, but he's still fighting her. But he's kind of slash running. But the other one is in full retreat. The king. So you're currently he's grappled him. You just shot him in the back with the 12, almost pretty close to,
I need
to
to
hitting
see
our
this.
little friend over here. I mean,
That's okay, I can take it.
I haven't been hit yet.
We're not walking into any interesting situations here.
Oh sure. Yep.
We'll be fine.
Yep. Everything's fine. Scratch, scratch.
Whose turn is it? My turn.
It's still
Mark's.
his
Oh,
turn.
oh, okay. I'm like just making sure. I was trying to get my spells up. So
No, it's good. Thank
Okay.
you for having it.
Yeah, then that I would move towards the one that's attacking her.
Okay.
In
So-
an attempt to like box
So
him
how
in.
close? Like 30 feet, or you want to get
Probably like about 30 feet away.
from him?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do so. And
And
he's
trying to
pretty
like
small.
box him in from where he's trying to run.
Gotcha.
Trying to get between where he.
Yeah, he's kind of slipping and sliding up the hill, just like as he's running and fighting her. But you kind of cut him off, and he sees that. All right, now it is Tatiana's turn.
all right. So since I still have my moonbeam going, yes.
Yes.
Are you right next to him?
I
No,
don't think
he's
I'm in
he's
melee.
30 he's 30 feet
I'm
away.
30
from you.
feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna move it right on top of him.
I was thinking of it like
So,
a satellite airstrike, where it's just like that laser. And it's just like. burning
And
as
as
it
it
goes.
moves, POD
So-
satellite plays.
so he needs to make a constitution saving throw.
Does a 12 beat it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
No.
That was her battle cry.
That's the sound she makes when she casts spells.
Because it's this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I add to my spells. Okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm
I'm asking you.
not on. I wouldn't watch that stuff.
10.
Fired.
10 damage.
Get out.
Okay.
Don't let the
You
door
know.
hit you on the
I'm
way.
just kidding. I watch all of them.
Your gnome dies.
Every single one.
Okay.
You want
Awesome.
to see my liked history on my YouTube? It's all natural one.
I believe it. I get some influx of likes, and I'm like, someone in my family or probably Billy.
I don't watch them in blocks. I watch them as they come out.
Exactly. Well, then it's someone else. All right.
It's a phantom me.
You're so smart. You can't be comfortable.
I'm super comfortable.
You're
He's
Spine
like
is gonna be
he's
like-
no, he's like totally straight. He's just
Oh,
like
okay.
his feet are like on top of mine, but his head is clear.
Intimate.
I call it the foot lock. It's my special move.
No more footsies. All right. So, and in that moment, you see the one that you're getting in front of, and he looks at you with this terrified look, and all of a sudden, from behind, something just engulfs him in flame. He's bloodied, if possible, with the amount of fire going on top of him. But that being said,
I just picture like
Ghostly
like a
flames.
frog under like a magnifying glass, and it just moves. And
but like a really big
Yeah, yeah.
centralized.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Essentially. All right. And so now next is its turn.
5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Oh no.
Oh.
oh man!
What did you do?
He tries to roll
Oh.
He tries to roll. He tries to roll. I mean, that might not be a worst option. He attempts to throw a javelin at you.
At me?
Yeah.
What,
And
the,
it just,
the little frog?
yeah, he just
I mean, the
having,
bullywug?
he's having a hard time hitting you.
Oh,
Like he's just like just
the poor
throws it.
little deer.
Not even. It's almost not even in your direction. It's just kind of like
I'm like,
out there. You just see it hit something, and he tries to move out of it. Does he take damage as he moves?
nope.
No? Okay, so he's able to get out of it, but instead of going up towards you, he starts booking it to the right, 25 feet. Booking it for him. Alright, now it is Alsten's turn.
It is.
Surely is.
Holy smokes. I want to attempt to disable this mount.
Okay.
But
Maybe
the
make
king-
one of
the
its
king
legs
ran
not
away?
Work. I do have a dagger. Or let's see.
Did you say that the king that was riding the frog that he has ran away?
No, he's still alive.
He's
on-
trying to. I'm
He's
holding
hanging
on.
on to the frog, and him and they're jumping and running.
Oh. Oh, so you're with them
Yeah.
as it goes
He's
away.
committed.
I see.
So I want to.
Sorry,
I
I
mean,
missed all of that.
The knife's probably gonna be the easiest way. Yeah, I don't know exactly how you would work this in, but I want to keep it from hopping.
I'm gonna have you roll your attack, and I'm gonna have you roll percentage. And if you get above 80, you disable its leg.
16.
Okay, that's a hit.
I would add dexterity, which would be 0. So and then do what?
I want you to roll percentage die, and if
Percentage.
you get above 80, I'm gonna allow you to disable its leg.
I got
30.
It tears in deep, but it doesn't do it. What is your damage though on the knife?
Man. 3.
You don't have any bonuses? Oh, dexterity, you don't
I
have any.
have 0 on my dexterity.
Fair enough.
Why?
Austin, not too quick.
Why?
You're unfamiliar with the large amphibian that you're currently flipping around on, and you just bury it in almost just for like hanging on to
Uh-huh.
it.
So
But-
I've got a better handhold now. you're
Yeah,
saying.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to come in handy right now. Alright, so the bullywug royal is going to take a swing at you with his blade.
Holy
Oh my
smokes.
gosh, of course he rolls a natural 20, why not?
I can take it.
That's our captain.
You're just gonna take the health right back from him,
Yeah, he's like,
or from his frog.
okay.
Friggity frog.
Or
Yes, that.
Okay, so you take, of course he rolls, of course.
I can
The
take
highest.
One was the highest, one was half. So 12 and 6.
Holy
but
crap.
Times 2.
depending, you guys have been using the crit chart.
But no. How come you roll so high when you're doing like the bad guys,
not
but
fair.
then when you roll for yourself, like it's
I-
just
Yeah,
not
where's
good.
Oceanus?
No.
Wasn't he doing this?
Oceanus is
He's a pacifist. He
98.
doesn't believe in fighting.
It's not
What
a
a wet
100.
blanket.
Oh
Or is it in that
dear.
range?
Oh, you're lucky it wasn't 100. That would be decapitated,
Decapitation.
so that's pretty lucky
Oh
you
my
didn't get
God.
there. Alright, but you did get
Holy.
F. As a free action, you may immediately make one melee attack with advantage versus the same target. So he gets attacked one more time.
Another attack.
So 12 plus 6 plus.
14.
Oh, he missed that one. That could have been very bad.
I respond with Hellish Rebuke.
Of course you do. He stabbed you with this like broken spear, just like.
Let's see, and let's see. He rolls a dex save. So in his situation, if he wants a dex save, wouldn't it make sense that he has to jump off his mount? Since I am currently riding the mount with him.
And he really just technically has to get out of your range, which isn't much. Even though, but he is riding you. So I'm
Well-
gonna say in this case, yes.
Hellish Rebuke is 60 feet.
He failed either way.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like a critical
Alright.
failure, but it was a 5. So I mean it might as
So,
well.
have fun, buddy.
I love Hellish Rebuke. It's like I didn't like getting hit. Here's also.
So
one.
14 fire damage. I don't know if he's vulnerable, but
Sweet. Let me double check that. Everything's fine. All right. Cool. Fantastic. You do burn him to a crisp, though. I mean, like he's dead. So
cool.
as he tries to just flee this sudden, as he's stabbing you, he's so happy that he's like getting some solid hits on you, like your shoulders, and stabbing in, like almost breaking your clavicle. Like he's just going at it with the spear, and all of a sudden you're just like, no! And he just like explodes practically, and he goes falling like a crisp, just right through the woods. And then I was gonna say like a speeder bike in Endor, but that's just not. But you know what the imagery, right? That's essentially what you see, just pieces of him just flying.
Meat's back on the dare, boys.
But now there is a
Frog
frog that you are currently riding like
I
a.
saw they cast a Christian Bale in the new Lord of the Rings series.
What's your AC? He rolled a 14.
Amazon's making a series. What's that?
Yeah, he rolled a 14. The
To attack
giant
me?
frog.
He misses
Okay,
or something.
He's trying to buff you off. That's what he's trying to do, or
Okay.
something. And he doesn't have an extra. Okay, that's his move. Back to.
Finally.
Key.
I know your name. I just
Kiki?
playing at you. Kiki the monkey.
But he's not a monk.
Is it the monkey?
I'm not. I'm an elf. That's very insensitive.
Like,
I'm
I'm
just
going
confused. What game are we playing?
all of
This
them.
is not the one with Monk Jazz.
Okay.
This is not the one with Jackie Stoutheart.
Or the opulent weasel.
The end goal. All right.
Okay, I am going
You see
to.
him being flipping around, but you see him also incinerate the giant guy.
That's how I
he's
picture.
like rodeoing it
Yeah.
with a knife stuck in it. Is how he's hanging on.
I am going
He's doing a great
to knock an arrow and fire at the one that is between us and move
The one that's kind of
into
running.
his range again, into his
Okay. So you're
to block his
You're
path.
not quite blocking him, but very close to. You're enough in front of him that he can't quite get past you without an
Yeah,
attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fire another arrow at him.
Do it.
Does a 16 hit?
It does.
Good,
You guys
'cause
are
I
all
rolled
great.
low. No, I rolled low. I rolled a 7.
But your bonus isn't fantastic, so
That is a 13 points of damage.
he is dead. And he probably likes that he's dead because he was in a lot of pain. You are now out of initiative. Everyone is dead.
I want to attempt to control this thing.
Well, I mean, out of initiative, it's fleeing. So
It's
I mean,
fleeing.
you're
But
on. You're still on.
But I'm hanging on.
Yeah.
I want to attempt to control it.
This will be great. All right, I'm gonna have you roll an animal handling at disadvantage because.
Disadvantage.
Well, actually, roll history check first.
Okay.
History is pretty good for me, I think. So that would be a
You
third.
should have expected this.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say a disadvantage then, but you know enough about
About these.
larger creatures.
Alright.
You feel like you could possibly.
That would be
So this is the nature.
a 12. I thought it was animal handling.
Oh, it is animal.
12.
Sorry, animal handling. Okay, so 12 total. It's
Yeah.
resisting you quite a lot, but you have a knife in it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It's disadvantage. You're like, no, it's fine. You're like,
It's fine. You're
it's bleeding. It's fine.
We're not in
You're not in
initiative, so I can do it.
but
for you.
it's moving about 45 feet in this one.
Unless somebody else is gonna try something.
So you see Austin being like flipped around as he's flying into the woods in the swamp.
The only thing I can really do is pull out the knife and keep trying.
Okay, try again. I'm gonna have you roll for it though. Yeah, we'll see.
Nope.
5.
This is
Oh,
making
6.
a lot of noise where the camp would hear us.
I don't know yet. We'll see. You're not really close, but you're not that far away. It's just a lot of
How far am I away from?
croaking and also
Is it
just like lights from the heavens.
is he going like opposite from where we are, or is he heading like down
He's
the hill?
kind of heading, skirting the hill, like headed back towards town almost.
Is the creature intelligent enough to be intimidated?
To some degree, I would say yes.
How fast is it?
It's 45 feet per round, which is every 6 seconds, so it's cruising.
Per move action, which means it can move 90 per round.
Yes, if it's
That's
dashing.
really fast.
Yeah. So he's hanging on for dear life right now.
Then
It's not going in a straight line though. You do know it's like kind of like all over the place. It's like
I am going to wait, hold on.
You're right,
Hold
though.
on.
This isn't bad at all.
Right?
This,
You just have to.
no, this is my turn.
Man.
Badger time.
I'm the gnome here.
I saw you on your phone and I forgive you.
Me?
Yes.
Do you know why I was on
Yeah,
that?
I see.
Okay, good. What do you think I was doing? Just
You're
texting?
just like, what's going on in the news?
Let's send
No, I
let's
figured it
text
was.
text.
How
Moderating stuff.
what's the like the let's see. Can I cast speak with animals?
You're not out of. I think it's just on site.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't say. So in this case, I'd say yes.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna try to speak with animals.
Yeah, I tell it to stop.
Okay, so you can speak to it just fine. I'm gonna
Stop.
have you. I'm gonna have you roll persuasion
Let
or
us
intimidation.
help you.
Okay, so persuasion.
Yeah.
Roll persuasion with advantage on that one.
If I roll your dice, then it's gonna be bad again. So
Just see what you would roll.
ha persuasion. 15.
Okay, so you don't know this, but suddenly it's just like you're like it's working.
I'm amazed.
I'm the most well-versed animal handler in the world.
You sound like Anakin with the pod racer. It's working. And you're hanging on for it. It's 2 Star Wars references in like 2 minutes.
I'm okay
Anyway,
with it.
okay. So he's hanging on, but you suddenly feel the presence, like the mind of this strange creature. It's just,
Okay.
it's frightened. It has no idea what's going on. It was just hanging out with its master, and all of a sudden, all heck broke loose.
Okay. So I'm just
Are you still stabbing it, or are you like,
No, I was pulling the knife out.
oh, okay. It's fine. You're calm. We need to teach him about keeping people calm.
I know a little bit about animal handling.
and as I'm like calming it, I'm walking towards it kind of briskly.
Yeah, I
but
would
like
imagine. Okay.
not
So it's flopping around a bit. It's having some issues with him on its back, but as he's pulling out the knife, it's kind of looking around, and it
So
just
he did
looks,
pull out the knife?
yeah, and it
Okay.
looks terrified. He's still on top of it, and you just see this going on as Oceanus starts walking down the hill, just kind of because he was throwing his trident. He threw the trident into one. He took it out. If you
I'm
remember.
more just like gonna sit down on the hill and see what happens.
Wait
Well,
for more. Just in
Well,
case.
while we and kind of keep a lookout to see if anything else pops up. Maybe like look over in the direction of the camp and see if there's anything amiss.
Okay.
The lights have been doused.
Okay. No, roll perception.
Yeah. Means I have to get up. 16.
Okay. You don't see anybody, but there is.
Could I see people before? That's what I'm not
You
sure.
could see like there was a patrol, like a light patrol, like on a torch. But
Paw Patrol.
yeah, like a paw patrol. No. You see a patrol going by. You saw it earlier, just at a distance, but you don't see one of the lights anymore. So you can assume that there's definitely been some like douse the light just in case there's something, because there was clearly a commotion in the forest. I mean, in the jungle, swamp. But it's obvious, you know, it doesn't mean that they're on the way here. It just means that there's some kind of territorial battle going on out there, and that can happen. So, who knows whether they're threatened by it or not? But there's definitely someone that's aware.
I'm both hoping and not hoping that because we're in a swamp that you include an ogre.
What? No, never.
I might make some Shrek references at that point. Shrek is loud.
I know I've had.
We
some
did that on
Shrek
our game
stuff.
on Friday already. I think we had our Shrek references for the week.
We did
Did
Shrek
we?
reference?
Yeah.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, you remember fighting the ogre on Friday?
I must have been ogre it.
You guys.
Do you remember? Like I suddenly just like broke into. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
he did. Yeah.
I know because I got hit in the face by it. I remember very clearly. All right, so.
Why don't I remember that?
Must have been a hard day.
By the way, you see our demeanor. All parents. So if you don't know that, all parents, all work long hours. We're just happy to just come here and just hang out with you guys for a little bit. So if we seem a bit like low energy, it's because we literally have low energy, but we just still love the game. So, or we're nuts. A little bit of both, I imagine.
Okay. Is it the frog?
I'm
is
gonna
a
have you
bit-
roll another persuasion.
I gotta sit up or I won't be able to sit up.
Uno mas.
13.
Okay. It stops moving. It's looking terrified. I mean, from what you can tell from giant amphibians,
So it looks like a frog, like a giant frog.
it's just a giant frog.
Is it just like gross and slimy?
It's mucus.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Princess and the Frog. I can't
That's
help it.
Henry's favorite movie right now. We watch it every.
It's not
Yeah.
slime.
single-
It's mucus. It's like one of the best lines.
Bad news for you, Shadow Man.
I have a
mucus.
confession to make. I've never seen Princess and the Frog the whole way through.
I have,
He
but it's
hasn't
been
either.
a long time.
Anyway,
I have multiple times.
it
So
has
many
stopped
times.
moving.
Okay.
It's not freaking out anymore.
But it's
So-
not dead.
No, it's not dead.
Okay. Can I check
You're just
the?
sitting atop it, just
Can
kinda
Can I check
realizing
the?
now, just like touching it, just these bumps and just like this really strange
Ugh.
thing.
Can I
You know
check
that, like,
its
skeleton that
wound?
moves when you move its skin.
Can I check its wound to see if
Check
it's
the saddle.
like something that can heal
Okay.
on its own, or if it's something
You
that.
can't have a gnome with a mount of a giant frog.
Look, we're in a swamp. I've got short legs.
I feel like this is about to be a thing. You guys just do things that I'm just don't. Alright, anyway, sorry. Everything's possible.
Can I check that? What would I check? Medicine, or animal, or what?
In this case, I'm gonna say medicine.
Because I'm like animal handling would be great because it's +5. Oh, 19. We're good.
Nice.
You can see by its wounds that it's definitely in pain, but it's nowhere near death. It's just
Is it bleeding a lot, or?
not severely. His
Oh.
knife didn't go in as deep as he thought.
Okay.
It was just kind of there.
I think I did 2 damage.
What do I have in my
Three.
herbalism kit that could maybe help it?
Your kit can help you use different herbs to make things for it, like a poultice for it, something that could
Okay, so can I
suit it.
can I use that 19 that I rolled? And
Yeah,
like
you are
find?
you are proficient in the kit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you roll an advantage on searching for a nearby fauna or foliage. that
Okay,
can-
so what does that mean? I roll twice?
Roll twice. Take the highest number.
Guys. I rolled 2 natural ones.
Are you serious? Wow, there should be like a prize for that or something.
man.
I think you should get the natural one of the night.
Okay.
You poison it.
So here's what happens. You
Been
missed
trained healing.
there's this very
I
ornate
just
flower.
race to all druids
There is a
everywhere.
beautiful flower that you're totally familiar with, where you're from.
It heals humanoids, but not.
And you, 100% with a 19, you're able to assess this is clearly what needs to be applied right here. So as you take up this salve that you've made out of some, like spit and
What
water and
about good
everything,
intentions?
you
Does
come
that
up
count?
and start rubbing it on the wound. And at first it resists, but it starts, just like, okay, I see she's helping me, because you're talking to it the whole time. Like, this is fine. We're gonna get you through this.
This is worse than killing the.
Please.
Oh no.
Please.
Oh no.
Okay. It starts to writhe in pain and run through the forest away.
With you on
I'm
top.
still on it.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. It's just the way it happens. 2 natural ones. I can't
I
stop
love it. I love it.
But you
Whoops.
just hear it just like freaking out as it's charging
Jump
through.
off, Alfred. Jump off.
How close is this thing to dying? That's what I.
Yeah, I mean.
Could
Oh.
I, through observation, tell if it was weak and close to death?
I would say with just a basic knowledge that this animal's in severe pain and doesn't really like where its situation is and kind of wants to die.
It wants to die.
Like a wounded deer that's been shot through the neck. Every moment I live is pain. Oh gosh, I was just about to
All right,
the
I'm
Simpsons.
going to use Charnel Touch.
finish it.
He rolls a Constitution save,
He almost had a mount.
unless he wants to die.
So he's resisting as much as he possibly can. He rolled an 18.
18.
It's like when you have a bad situation, it just kind of keeps spiraling out of control. That's the situation.
I mean, at this point, my only option is to jump off.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see any other way around it. At
Okay.
this point.
So you dive off. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw because it's going very fast.
Well, this isn't gonna go well.
Jumping all over the place.
Ooh.
All right. You take 1d4 damage. Roll your damage. How well you do.
Guys, I can take it.
Of course, 4.
That's okay. I'm
So
fine.
you can you just
This is
jump
fine.
off and you just into a tree, like, but not front ways. You're sideways.
I was avoiding the swamp because I was worried about how deep I'd sink.
Yeah, you're fine. You
Yeah.
landed against a tree and you
Yeah.
managed to scramble up as the frog goes off in the distance. And after a couple minutes and you're walking back towards everybody, you hear loud sounds and then silence. You assume that something else ate it or attacked it because it was very loud and quiet. So anyway, you all come back to camp. And
45 minutes.
yeah, it was
I tried. I
it
really
is what it was.
I'm sorry. I just like everything I do for you, like it just.
tried. Nothing I did was getting it to cool down either,
Like,
so.
Stop running away.
Like
Here's the salve.
I just have good intentions and they just never. Did it die or did you just get off of it?
I got off of it.
Oh, okay.
It probably died.
It
maybe.
definitely,
Oh my
from the
goodness.
sound of it, you all heard just this big croak and then some huge snap and then a bunch of other things.
Oh.
It went quiet. Safe to say it's dead. You poisoned it very, very much. And it was per round, and it had about, it was like an 8 plus another 6.
I almost
every
had a
round.
way to keep up with you guys. Almost.
I'm sorry. Anyway, you're out of initiative. Oceanus, he's sitting next to you, watching this whole thing just unfold.
He didn't do anything.
Yes, he did.
He threw
Did
his
he?
trident.
He was fighting and he cast
Oh,
magic
okay.
to help you guys. He was
Okay,
doing all
good. Just
sorts of
making
things.
sure. I was just like,
No, he
he
was.
did nothing.
He was
There's a
right.
lot of Oceanus.
He was right after Alston every time, except for this last time because there's not really nothing he could do from where he was. He was just watching. Anyway, now you're in the situation that you're a bit beat up, but nothing very serious. You've been in worse situations, but
That was.
you were kind of just watching the woods, just kind of waiting for the inevitable group to find you, but you're not sure. I mean, they could just be sitting there waiting, but then again, maybe they just thought it was the woods.
So, we're just waiting.
It's up
Well-
to you what you're doing.
well,
I
and
just said
that's-
that's where you came back. You all met up.
I'm waiting till we all come back, and then I'm gonna ask for what she saw in the camp because we don't have that
I
information.
thought you were gonna ask what I did to the frog.
On that note, you do know that that flower is very poisonous, and you do have some left. So I'm going to allow you to have 1 dose of that for later use of storage. So very poisonous flower, 2d10.
Why did I use it then if I know that it was
You
poison?
didn't at the time. You thought it was good.
It's like,
You realize
Oh.
You now realize that that one is very, very, very
does it
bad.
have a name?
It does. And I'll give it to you when I feel like it. It's in my DM manual and I don't have it open to the page. I think it was called like Midnight something.
Would you say 2d10?
midnight murder.
Tears of Midnight.
Would you
I
say
don't remember.
2d10?
Oh, it's right here. Yeah, 2d10. I'll give you the exact thing. But you guys keep doing your thing.
Okay. I have
Stalker's
1 dose.
Midnight
You have
Death
1 dose.
Cap.
You could put it into a drink. You could put it on a weapon. You could do all sorts of things with it.
Okay.
I look very fat from how I'm sitting on camera.
Wow.
So
For-
fat.
I look like it in
Okay. We've been in the same encounter for 2 episodes, guys.
Oh, okay. But we're done now.
Yeah,
now.
this is
Okay,
true.
so we meet up and I'm not gonna say anything about the frog.
That was intentional.
I did it. Yeah, I'm failing as a druid, just like I fail as a cleric. Anyway, so I tell them about what I saw, which I can't remember because I lost my notes. But there's like 30, right? 30 armed people, and then there's like a temple in the middle. Where's all this information?
Oh, that's
Tell
right.
me you
And
have it.
somebody saw you and knew who you were.
Yeah, and
or what you
there's
were.
like a queen type lizard, and she knew that I was not a rat.
Now,
I mean,
remind me why we were in this swamp. How
We were supposed to see if they were dangerous.
we're trying to see what their intentions
More
are.
reconnaissance than anything, but they said
Because
if
they're-
there's danger, obviously deal with it. But
They're gaining weapons. And
not
we
just their
have
bone, because typically
weapons.
you've learned that lizard folk tend to use very rudimentary, very tribal like weapons, spears that they make out of rocks and wood, but also bone and things like that. But nothing so advanced as iron or steel. They've been amassing quite a large amount. You know this because your ship
has
now
them.
has a lot of them. But also you found a ledger inside the actual Sinister Secret Saltmarsh ending where there was a huge list of weapons that have gone to them. And those mercenaries aboard your ship now are kind of like, you keep some of our people and we'll keep our deal type thing. So that's kind of
No.
where you're at.
do we want to go down the route of trying to speak to them? Do we want to try and go speak to the queen? Because I don't think the 5 of us can kill all of them.
We're not trying to kill them. We're just seeing if they have good intentions.
I would guess that no. No, they.
We don't know that.
They are-
What if they are trying to protect themselves?
Well,
Because
then the only way we would know
we
that is
live
to
in a
speak with the
land
queen.
of misunderstanding and
Bullywugs.
racism and
The only way we would know that is if we spoke to the queen. You don't want to do that. So,
but you'll know that it was me and that I was spying.
well, then we can go back and we can tell the authorities that they're amassing a large amount of weapons and let them come back and deal with them.
What are we getting for this? Helping this village? Were we getting money?
Yeah, they said they're going to pay you pretty well for this each.
Oh. Okay, I couldn't remember.
But
Like, are we
they
just
want, they
doing this
want
out of
like
the
some
goodness
kind
of our pirate
solid,
hearts?
they wanted something solid evidence. They didn't want you just to like,
It's good.
"Oh, it's fine.
We took a look. It looks fine. You're good.
There's a lot of them.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you could.
I guess the worst thing
Seriously, you could go back right now. and
that
do
would
Like, you
happen
could tell them,
is
roll persuasion. I mean,
okay, but what time of the day? Is it still night?
it's close to dawn.
Okay.
You've got
I
maybe
am
like 2 hours
I am
until it's like good and
just
light.
about ready to drop down because I got
You know
hit
what
pretty good.
May have been ideal was interrogating one of those.
That's what I was thinking after I burned the last one to a crisp. So
Yeah.
We
Wait, I
could
have a
always, we
question.
could always kidnap one of the lizard folk and take them back with us.
I like that idea.
I have rope.
Yes. Let's do
We could
it.
just give him one of the ones off our boat.
One of the lizard people.
With some people.
I'm sure the other one would appreciate that. Where did Fred go?
He has a name, doesn't he?
He does have a name.
Okay,
So the way
but let's rest first because I am not doing well.
I feel that we can take a short rest, but we may not want to.
They're yawning brisk.
Okay.
We don't want to stay for
You
a full long
remember.
rest
All right, sounds
because
good.
we can figure out, we can take that time to figure out how we want to
So-
yes.
pursue this.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. And if you do that, I'd like you to, if you're doing just like a planning session, there's a thing that I saw once and I really kind of want to utilize. Because as characters you may not, I mean as players you may not know, but as characters you might have had some background and some history with planning or some
Yes.
ideas. So I'm going to have you all roll, if you're taking time on a short rest, but also just relaxing, you're planning. Why would you just be sitting there just like, I'm waiting to feel better? You know what I mean?
Excellent.
That's kind of, I saw that once
I
and I was
like
like,
that.
that's a brilliant idea.
I like that.
Anyway, so I want anyone who's part of the planning this out, I can give you possible options that might come
I
up
like
in your histories.
So
Okay.
you want to
So
roll
history,
history?
or intelligence, just like, if you can make it make sense, I will allow that roll.
What does the intelligence mean?
Because
It's
you
not
could
one of
say
my skills.
deception. You could say, no, think of
It's
it
a
Oh,
as,
base
I see.
stat.
I see.
you don't necessarily have to do that. Pick a stat that you feel like would be appropriate for planning this.
Strength.
Like, yeah, you could say, we could, no. You could say,
Survival?
let's go in hard, and then you might have an idea for that. Let's say he's good at
Like
stealth or
survival?
something he's not. But if he was,
Certainly not.
yeah, you could say that you're
Alright.
good at tracking and finding information.
Then I rolled an 8.
Okay,
I
Too bad it's not
rolled
animal handling.
A
Wait, they're
15.
lizard.
okay,
on
what would you do?
history.
History, okay.
History.
Oh, Oceanus is involved.
I mean, could I?
Oh, snap. You rolled high.
How do I figure out how like I'm healed?
What'd you do, man?
Like how much I'm healed? How do I figure that out?
You roll, it's your, so right, it's your hit dice right here. So you have your level, what are we, level 4? Level 5? She's making fun of me.
Who was?
No.
Me?
She's like, which one's D? He's making
Oh. You just got that? That was
You
like
can
an
do
hour
as many
ago.
as your level. So if you're level 4,
Oh,
you can
so
roll for that
yeah.
4 times, plus 2.
Oh,
So
okay,
1d8
okay.
plus 2.
Plus 2? How do
Are
you
we
figure
level
plus
four?
2?
That's what
I'm
I
level
have.
6. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wait, we're level 6.
Yeah.
What level are we?
6?
Why do I not have everything? You have failed me, DM. You have failed me. You have failed.
So anyway,
I don't even have it written. What's my alignment? I don't know
Chaotic
who
evil.
I am.
I wanted you to write the rest. Alright, so, okay, so,
Wait, we're really level 6?
Yeah.
No, you're lying.
I'm not.
We really are?
We really are.
I don't even have all my spells then. David, you're in trouble.
you do too have your spells.
No.
Yeah, you do. Look, you have level 3 spells.
I don't go up to level 4?
It doesn't
Level
work.
five?
It doesn't work with your level.
It's for your class.
I told you, you're up to
This
date.
sucks. I'm done. Just kidding.
Well, natural ones over, else you guys
Someone needs a nap.
won't have to. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so my son has started saying that now. Let's
What?
do this. I say that all the time.
Oh, this is not the right one.
Okay, so based off of your rolls, you try to contribute where you can.
Didn't go well for me.
It just is like you kind of can't think of anything.
Huh.
No.
So you roll, just so I remember because I don't want to look it up.
You roll your hit dice to max whatever you want to do for your.
Uh-huh.
You then add your Constitution modifier.
That's what it is.
That's why she has a +2
Yes. Per hit dice.
for hit dice.
Wonderful.
I can roll
Ooh,
4 times?
You can roll as many times you want, but if you try to take another short rest during the day, if you use those dice, you cannot use them again.
Alright.
14.
I did that with here. See? Up here.
Good job.
I remember that.
Good for you.
Thank you. It is good for me.
You did something right.
It's close.
Because let me show
Sleeping on
you
the
why.
couch?
I think
Yes.
I just did
Yeah.
health, but I didn't do
Fighter.
anything else.
And then rogue, and then yeah. So I've got my 3rd level in fighter, and I finished my 3rd level in rogue. So I got my assassinate.
Mhm.
Ah, I only
I
rolled
remember.
twice and I got
I mean, I
all
get
of
it.
my health
There's-
back.
They're juggling several
because I rolled a nice
players.
One,
Okay.
2.
Yeah, but how long
But
have you
you've
been
done this
playing
for
this
years.
game?
And I pay way too much attention to things like
I'm in a,
I
I'm
think
in a
I
3rd
just
game.
I
too.
leveled up health and I didn't level anything
I need
else.
to learn more
Did
about
that.
a druid because it's really
It was just
confusing
so
to me.
So between next time and this time, we'll do some leveling up to make sure you guys are where you're at.
Yes, please.
You are leveled up,
I don't believe you.
but you are.
Level 6?
Yes. Alright, anyway. So, based off of what you've rolled,
I have lame spells, just so you know. I want to fix this because they
you can turn into a dire wolf. You
Well,
can turn into
that's
a
like
bear.
the coolest thing and moonbeam. I mean,
But you've never
everything
done
else.
those things.
What are you talking about? I
You
have
turned into a
turned.
rat. And a
I was
cat.
a bear and I killed the Minotaur.
That is true.
So, psh,
Yes, I forgot about the bear thing.
Barely.
Barely forgot about it.
you know what?
So anyway,
She's about to go on a rampage.
she turns into a bear and just goes away.
You got that crazy look in your eyes.
So what did you roll on your check?
I don't remember because I was so mad at you. Let me roll again.
I need some numbers. Okay.
12
And what are you rolling it on?
Survival.
Survival. Okay. Between you two,
or
you figure-
intimidation.
you start to tell history from what you know of lizard folk. Based off what you know, they have clutches. They have little areas for their children, their youth. They also have pretty much everyone's a warrior type, but they don't necessarily all fight. There's definitely assigned people. You know that they are not. They're very critical of like outsiders or anyone that's not their type, and they consider them food. You know, they might as well be food.
Wait, like anybody that's not a
Anyone
lizard
that's
folk?
not a
But you said they
lizard folk is-
eat.
They eat anything that's not that.
But I thought you
They
said that
probably do.
I thought you
themselves,
said they were
but-
cannibalistic.
No, not necessarily. They can be, but they just.
I'm thinking of our other campaign when that one leader guy got killed. They ate him.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm confusing it.
Yeah, that was a different
Okay.
thing. Different part.
Right, that happened. Right, you fought the lizard guy, and then because he was dead, they ate him. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
as we were in and-
the
yeah.
half angel.
Yeah. Okay,
Also
I'm gonna
delivering
get confused. now.
Yon T as well. I mean, but that was.
No, we did fight lizard folk.
We did.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
no, and then
Recruited them.
yeah.
We
It's
fought him. I fought their leader, and then
Yeah,
I
to-
won.
Like I said, I know it was
Yeah.
a different tribe. It was different.
I just
situation.
got confused. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, you're fine. In general, though,
Okay.
you know that they eat it. Pretty much anyone that's not, and not just there's a person eat them. I mean, it's like if someone dies for them, it's not like let's mourn them. They're like, okay, we're gonna just use them. And Oceanus rolled a stealth check, and he rolled an 18.
An 18.
Well, 18 natural. He has a +2. So he suggests that there is a way we could possibly get in based off what you know and their fortifications and based off what she knows of just tracking them. You feel like you could have a very good chance of getting past at least a couple patrols without any hindrance, and then you would be able to roll stealth checks. Basically saying, I'll let
Where
you
would
get.
we be heading? What would we would need?
Based off of what you know, and a little bit of her scouting, and that's what she's kind of told you with
Yeah.
your survival, is that you possibly could get into past their barrack area and kind of get towards their. I would say, and there's quite a few places, but let me check something real quick. No, you could get into about halfway through, not halfway, a quarter of the way through, towards like their banquet hall area. So I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult to get to there, just based on what she knows.
And we need evidence to bring back for what they are. So we would
What
be
their plan
looking
is.
for a ledger. We would be bringing something back.
Of that nature.
So I think that is a good plan. I think we should execute that if we can
Do
before
you guys like that
dawn.
rule? That little like
Oh, I
planning
love it.
if you're
Yeah,
doing
that's a
this?
really good
I feel like
idea.
it's an appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna sit there and like
Yeah, because
wait.
character, and a lot of times character knowledge is a lot more than what the
Much
player
more.
remembers.
Much more. You don't give
Um,
that credit, and some people
yeah.
think it's with player knowledge, but really a lot of times player knowledge is much less than character knowledge
Yes, very
because you don't
true.
live in that world.
Um,
All right.
I think we should continue that point. I think we should all be on alert for something we can take back, kind of to show what these lizard folk are up to. And I think we should do it before dawn, so that we can have the cover of darkness.
Well,
Yeah.
Seamus agrees, of course.
Then let us go. Let's proceed that with that.
Let's do this.
Okay.
And
Just like you planned, you're what?
I was gonna say, and go.
Okay, perfect. So just as you planned it out, she kind of spotted ahead as this went. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna say that this is what happened as you planned it. You know where the patrol came, so you wait for that, and you all move in right after the patrol goes. And the patrol looks more armed than usual. I mean, they've got armor, like metal armor, and they have, metal swords. I mean, they look pretty beefed up. But as you get in through this palisade that looks a little bit broken, you manage to get past a few other sections. Some of them are walled, most of it's just huts, but they're very large, and it is in a kind of an old temple area, probably where some ancient civilization lived, much like a Ephesus, where it still has some structures, but most of it's completely gone. But a lot more intact than that. Anyway, so you make your way into an area that looks like it's a banquet hall of some sort. But as you get there, you notice 5 unarmed lizard folk that are preparing this area for a feast. Looks like they're setting stone utensils out with wood on the wood tables, and they're just kind of getting things ready. You see several long wooden tables that are placed end to end in the center of the hall, with wooden benches running along each side. And at the south end, you see tables and large wooden chair. 4 slightly smaller chairs flank it. So it kind of looks like there's this like the important person is going to sit here, the other people are going to sit right here. And then and that's pretty much it. Just some people, lizard folk working. They look like servants-ish. So you are hidden. Like you kind of like made your way into this area, and it's dimly lit because it's very early morning. I'd say the sun is just threatening to rise, like it's just about to peek over the top.
Threatening, if that's an accurate description of the sun.
So here's the question. Should we continue to look? Should we sit and watch? Probably find something and get out of here before the sun rises.
Yeah.
Yes.
This room doesn't seem to have any kind of indication of threats. Can I roll perception to see if there's anything
Yeah.
that I would think would be an indicator?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So that would be perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay. So you came in the north entrance of this place. So based off of what you know so far, I'm just going to show you a bit of the map. So this is how much you've seen. You're in room 10.
Okay.
So you came in this door and
The
you're kind
north
of
side.
hiding in the corner.
Okay.
And so you do see the door to the south of you, but it's past those people. You feel like you could safely go along the side of the wall. They are busy coming in and out of the room, but right now they're busy placing it. So if you moved right now, you don't see any immediate threats, but you know if you stay in this room and it gets more and more populated, it's going to get worse.
I feel as though we could find a stronger indication of threat in perhaps another building.
I would agree. Let's continue on.
Passing through this building would get us deeper into the village.
I would agree. Let's continue that way. Would you like us to roll a stealth?
Definitely. Now at this point, you're past the point where I'm giving it to you.
Well, say goodbye to our stealth boys.
Woo! Well, no one sees me.
Fumbled.
Oh my god.
What'd you get?
Fumbled.
Okay. All right.
Did I call it or did I call
You
it?
called it. What's that grand total? 1.
Okay, and
What's
what
that?
did you roll on stealth?
Oh.
Just because we're moving through that. point where you-
It's not a negative.
Oh my goodness gracious. 8.
All right, let's see how clever you guys can be. All right, so
Not very clever.
I, however, was on the other side. Rolled a 24.
nice. Okay, well then Oceanus would have gone with you because he rolled a 19, and so let's just say that you, for the sake of it,
Just-
you guys are kind of just moving along the sides. There's too many people in one spot moving together. You know what I mean? Just like like carrying a bush. It looks like
Or a
that's what
box.
you guys are kind of like pushing
That's
a box
what we are
along.
doing.
Metal Gear Solid style, just
Yeah.
throw a box over your
And I'm
head.
like holding like 2 branches.
So
That's
so
basically.
you're like
potted plant.
you're basically moving things aside, and you brush something and it falls over. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, so there are 2 in the room at the moment, the servants, and you see one just like stop what they're doing, and they look over, and then the other one just kind of glancing around, looks like they're looking for something, but they're speaking in a very harsh language. And one points, and the other one starts to kind of like peek around like this like pot area where you guys are hiding behind and knock something over. And within a few seconds, they start walking over, but one sees you because you just kind of are like standing kind of out in the open, but like hidden, but still in the open, and like steps back and then points, and then the other one comes and looks, and they just see you right now.
Okay.
She's still in the open, but behind a box. So she's just like standing up.
And I'm like,
You're making a lot of noise,
Huge.
but you're not like hidden. You're hidden, but you're making
oh
noise.
my gosh.
Anyway, so they seem to be not doing anything.
Is
at the
this
moment.
like
They
a
look
s-
nervous.
Is this like a structure building?
This part? Yes, it's a hall. It's like a yurt. It's like a tent, but also like different pieces of wood holding it together.
What?
Okay. Is there any like fires or anything
Mhm.
in it? So I want to.
You're just standing there,
I have
looking around for
ideas.
fire.
I would like.
So
I would like to.
I'm going to grin and use thaumaturgy to brighten up the fire enough to catch their attention.
Okay, there's one brazier in the center hanging on the ceiling,
Okay.
so that ignites, so it gets bigger.
Are they wearing
Brighter.
anything that's metal?
No, they're actually not.
Just are they holding anything that's metal?
They are servants. They just had stone plates and they
Oh.
just set them down. They're wearing just like different
Oh,
leathers
okay,
from.
alright.
And you can tell me whether this works or not, but considering we're not in any kind of initiative, using thaumaturgy again to create like a harsh whispering coming from that same
Yeah,
area.
is it a concentration? Just to
I
make
don't
sure.
have
I-
that much written down about
I
it.
have something too that I can. That's kind of like
I just
that.
want to make sure on that.
Yeah.
Are lizard folk typically evil viewed?
They honestly are pretty much in the center.
Pretty
They
center?
don't feel either way. They're just very survival. They do have things that they enjoy, but there's definitely things that they just don't care about. They don't think like you or I, where it's like, I'm gonna go do this because it makes someone feel better. I'm gonna go do this because I'm angry at them. It's like they just are like, does it serve me to do that? No. Okay.
This just says components V duration up to 1 minute.
Okay.
It doesn't say.
So in this case, since you're doing two,
Oh, well, it's one action for casting time.
okay, then you're fine. It just happens 6 seconds after.
Okay.
Okay. So what are you
So
doing for the
s-
first one?
So I would brighten it. Well, no, I would do the whispering first, and then I would brighten it up.
Okay.
Try to catch their attention so I can sneak away while they're.
Okay. So perception, they both rolled natural 8s.
Okay.
And they're not very perceptive, but they did notice the fire increasing behind them, so they're thinking they're under attack or something, and they look up, and they do that. And I'm gonna have you roll another stealth check as you're
Okay.
trying to get away.
Okay.
Me too, or just him?
If you want to try to go with them, you see his moving
6.
along. Okay. They rolled a 1 and a 7. So one kind of knows the general direction you're moving,
Uh-huh.
but doesn't see you. And then you roll for stealth as well as you're trying to get by. By the way, what are you doing on the other end? Because you see all this just like that he suddenly goes.
It's times like this where I kind of wish I were playing an evil character, where I would sneak up and
17. Oh,
end them.
17.
But that
Oh,
would
good.
be a
You get away
blatantly
just fine.
evil thing to do. That's not what my character
But
would
where
do.
is he in relation to me?
He's moving along with you, just a little bit
I
clunkier.
would just attack them, but I
Okay.
don't expect that I could keep them silent.
I'm going to pull out a
If they were-
small
if they were
straight
level
piece of
one
iron that I
non-heroic,
have, and
I
I'm
think
gonna
we
cast
could.
Hold
That's
Person
probably true.
on the one that
But I
um,
can't make that bet.
seems to know where he is, and so
Okay.
he needs
And I
to
don't have that for me.
make a wisdom.
All right, he rolled a 10.
Yes.
All right, with a -1 actually, so 9.
Yes.
Wait a second.
All right.
So that one just suddenly holds, just stays still. Okay. And you're moving away with.
So what'd you do?
I cast Hold Person on the one that noticed you.
Okay, and that just keeps them from moving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the other
But
one.
the other one didn't notice.
Yeah, and it's like held, like all whole body. So every,
Yeah, that's all it says. It's just hold.
Yeah, so the other one comes up to him and it starts pushing, and he isn't moving at all. So he's just very confused, and he just looks back up at the light. He's just kind of looking around, and you see him just making weird like scratching on the ground and like grabbing like dirt and moving it around like this. It looks like some kind of ritual, like they're just thinking they saw some kind of like ghost creature, and they're just like doing some like.
Wait, you're
warding
still
off.
in the same room as us?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
moving toward the door.
But you're
Yeah,
just
that's
on the
what I was-
opposite
They rolled
side.
very, very well, and
Right.
they're
Yeah.
moving
They're pretty
around
much
just fine,
invisible.
pretty much. Well, and with comparatively to you two, yes.
Hey, I just rolled a 17. That's
I'm
pretty
just talking
good.
about the first roll.
Okay.
But yeah, you make it. Yeah, they are both distracted, and one is just frozen solid, and they think it's some kind of curse, and they're freaking out. They thought maybe he was some kind of demon or something.
It's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Well, they've probably never seen a gnome
Yeah.
before, and especially one with the claw that was
Yeah.
sitting there and made the lights go up, and then one of them got stuck.
I wouldn't have shown the claw. To the
Wow,
one
okay.
that's,
That's
Fair enough.
love.
Okay, you make it out of the room. Obviously, yeah, it's like this little hut area. So you make it out and you just kind of close the flap behind you guys. You are now in a hallway. It's when I say hallway, it's like a grass, like there's like it's overgrown a bit, but it's very tall, like foliage, but it's a clear path. Basically, it's think of it like completely covered, but it's a hallway, so to speak. Anyway, to your immediate right, excuse me, here we go, okay. To your right, you see a long path that kind of heads further south. It kind of slopes to the south a bit. You can see that it kind of turns right, turns left. I mean, it has some different
Or have we
ways.
met up again?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
you're all-
met up as we were
Okay.
exiting.
All right.
You're all
that's good.
together. And then to your immediate left, you see a room that you're familiar with.
Oh.
You actually went there, passed through here especially.
This is the main room?
No, but it was full of soldiers.
Oh. Is that what a lizard folk
Are
looks
you-
like?
Yes.
Are you going to relay that to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
what you
not
saw-
go through that.
So what you saw when you went there, you saw a big open area. It features 6 floor-to-ceiling pillars that is basically in the central. It's bare of furniture. It's a drilling area.
Okay.
Basically, they're practicing combat in there. And so you can't see in there, but it's definitely a room, like a large room, and you can hear like clanging of weapons and things like that.
Yeah, we're
They're
not
already
going
up and drilling. I probably wouldn't go in that room.
We're not going.
Okay, so you head to your right, and as you head down this little path, it kind of goes up a little bit and then starts to loop south a bit, and you reach a room that you never went in.
Okay.
So you're not sure what it is. Oh, just kidding. No, it's a room you're very familiar with. It's the throne room.
Oh, okay. This is the one I
I
went
looked at the wrong one.
This
Yeah.
is the one.
This
we
is the
wanted.
one-
This is the one I wanted to make it to.
Okay, so when you look at this on the outside, there are 2 guards standing out front, um, just as before. They're just kind of talking to each other. They're not like standing at attention. It's not how they do things. But as you look at it, you're not sure how to get in, and from this point, because you just snuck by them last time.
Because I was just a
But
little
there's
rat.
no other way to go. You either go back into room 10, which you were just in, or you head to the drill room, or you head past the throne room, in which case they would either see you. I mean, you're kind of in a tight spot.
Here's how I see it. One of two things. You could do what you just did and get their attention elsewhere, thus allowing us to go through, or we kill them.
How are they
Kill them.
standing? There's
They're just, one has his back against the wall. You can't see his full body, but you see like his spear kind of leaning out and him just talking to the other one. Another one's talking to him and being very grandiose with his gestures. But you see there's clearly just 2 right now.
Okay.
But you see so it kind of slopes in like this, and these are the doors. So it goes like this, and your hallway goes up this way, and you're over here. Does that make any sense to you?
so they're standing on either side of it, or they're standing next to each other.
Mostly next to each other,
Okay.
but closest to you. There's 2 walls before the door, and they're standing at this little inlet.
What I could do. It's about to get confusing in here. Just
Which
go,
is-
When
Our
the
usual
gnome says
state
it's
of
about to get confusing in here, I totally believe it.
just go straight. So
It's about to get confusing in here.
so I'm actually going to cast. Are these intelligent creatures? Like, are they?
They're not dumb.
Okay.
Some are smarter than others, but they're not like
Is
educated.
average intelligence
They're not
lower
educated.
than humans? Or
Yes, I would say
okay.
yes, because most humans can somewhat understand the inner workings of
By-
things, but
By intelligent, they're sentient. They're able to communicate.
Are they ever?
Communicate.
Would I know if they're like ever magical in nature? Like,
there's definitely some aspect that you believe that have some magic, but as a majority, you'd probably say less than humans.
I am actually okay. So I'm gonna cast darkness over where they are, and we should be able to sneak right past them.
If you don't kill ourselves in the process. All right, cool.
Yeah, just walk straight.
Okay.
And I'll just hope that they have no idea.
So
what's
darkness,
going
was it like a 20-foot radius of just
on. It's a
complete
15-foot
15
radius
of
sphere.
complete darkness? No light can enter or leave unless it's
Non-magical light.
Not
You can't
there.
illuminate it. Dark vision can't see through it.
it's complete. It's like ink surrounding
If
your
you-
face.
If you cast that just where they were just inside, but we could still see into the door, we could walk around it and into the room.
True,
This
but
is very true.
then a globe of darkness might appear on the other side of the wall.
The
Partial.
door is about 10. Okay, so the door is about 10 feet wide on either side. So 10 total. So 5 foot, 5 foot.
Okay.
So if you cast it even close to the door, it's going to cover the door.
Okay.
If you cast it down the hallway just enough, it will cover them and a little bit of where you can sneak by.
So more or less. Sorry,
So-
I don't know. what
No,
the
you're
background-
you're fine. You're not gonna remember all this.
Yeah.
You're right here.
Okay.
You're seeing them right
Seeing
here.
them
No, sorry, right here, because you're seeing the guy around the corner.
And currently, we're thinking we're just gonna walk past it.
Well, throne
Or
room's
we-
right here.
oh,
You guys, your
we
goal
think
was
we
to
wanna
get in
go
the
in
throne
here.
room. Is that what you're thinking?
Mm-hmm. Because I
Okay.
think that's where the
Okay,
information
so
is.
so they're right here talking. So you could cast the thing right here, and it would cover all of this. But you could probably
Go around.
skirt the wall, get this wall, move
So-
back in. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
I could,
plan it right.
I could maybe.
And if they don't move, I mean, because they could still run into them.
Yeah. So depending on how I planted it, it might show in the throne room, depending on who's in there.
That might not be the worst thing. Could be. Who knows?
I think that's the best idea
Okay.
we've had so far.
So yeah, I guess I'm going to visualize what that would look like on the other side of the wall, just enough to
So
get
like-
them, just to kind of
Just like cover
kind
it.
of get them on
It's
the
just
outer
cover it.
edge.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you suddenly see him start doing some movements, and then all of a sudden, this globe of black, just pitch black, and just very strange, almost liquid, just surrounds them, and you hear them just like and just like they like start talking to each other, and you can't see them, but you can hear them.
Now's our chance. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I don't need to have you roll anything. Okay, once you get to the darkness, though, I'm gonna have you roll just a base dexterity check, just to see how you're doing in this unfamiliar territory.
Okay. I did okay.
Do I add this?
Yeah.
18.
Nice. You kind of feel one as you're passing by. But
Feel what?
feel one of the lizard
Oh.
lizard folk just kind of scrambling around. Like his spear almost hits you, just in like he's like moving around, like trying to touch things. They're not moving from the spot. They're not sure if it's a globe or they've gone blind. I mean, to them, they're blind. You know, they have no idea what's going on. But you all manage to skirt by them, no problem. And actually, you make it to the other wall, and then you can find the door, and you go in, or you just kind of. I mean, up to
I mean,
you guys.
our plan was going. We might as well
Okay.
do that.
So you're going in stealthy, or are you going in just fast?
Just fast.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're being very stealthy.
Well, are the lizard, like the people,
We
like the
kind of
lizard
are,
folk
I
in there, are they being loud as they like?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
they're-
don't need to worry about it.
They
then.
are pretty upset at the fact that they suddenly can't
I mean,
see.
we're not gonna be like.
They're not like
"Ah!"
screaming, but they're definitely like talking loudly, like oh, what
Yeah.
happened?
So, I
Basically, of
mean-
the what happened, I can't see.
I would
anymore.
like
You
us
see
to
what's-
like hurry, but not like be really loud about
Just
it.
you didn't ask what my dex was,
Yeah.
but it was a 19.
I
so.
figured it was high since you didn't go. Oh,
Yeah.
because normally you let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you for telling me. I'm sorry I didn't ask. Okay. As you get past them, you get through the door, and entering the throne room, you do see Her Highness. she's standing like she was clearly sitting in her throne. She looked like she was going over like this tablet. You know, she was reading her nook. I'm just kidding. She had like a stone
Sheikah
tablet.
slate.
Yeah, Sheikah slate, well, essentially. But she's looking at this thing with runes on it, and she's leaning forward as you all just kind of walk in out of darkness.
That's got to be a little
It
intimidating.
is.
Can
It
I,
is.
as
I
I
wanna-
see here, can I roll an intimidate?
Yes, you may.
I want to pull out my whips.
Okay. She rolled a natural one.
Nice.
8 on my.
Can I roll an
intimidation.
intimidation?
Yeah.
Because I have a really high
Oh,
intimidation.
we all can.
I'd say
intimidate.
you all could definitely roll an intimidation.
Ooh, I want to join in.
I think you
22.
should.
Sorry, I said that so loud.
There,
That is a 20.
Wake up,
I am the
kids.
least intimidating, and I still intimidated.
You rolled a 21.
22.
Wow.
22.
Nice.
And you rolled
20.
20.
I like come out and I'm like leading and I pull out my whips. It's like
She-
slow
She
motion.
doesn't even yell
Flames
for
behind
help as you close
It's more like a.
as you close the doors behind you. She doesn't even yell for help. She's just so like she's thinking, well.
This is it.
She's
I'm
like,
feeling just horrible about everything I'm doing.
We haven't killed anyone
Yet.
that hasn't attacked us yet.
I probably will do it on accident. 'Cause that seems to be what I do.
Yeah, see, we haven't attacked anything that hasn't attacked us.
Do
Except
you
the
speak?
ship.
Do you speak
Well.
the common tongue? I will say, entering the room. Once I see how intimidated she is, and after the doors have closed.
So you walk about 15 feet in. All
She
of
does
you.
because she spoke to me. Yeah.
Yes. As you say that, she nods her head, just in a like nervous, barely even moving. You know when you're terrified
Yeah.
and you can't move. She's just like looking around, but realizing there's nothing right now that can help her.
Why are your people here?
And so she looks at all of you in this array of people, with just like this strange group of dragon folk, gnome, I mean, elves,
To
one CL, and she's just looking around and she says, "I don't understand. What are you doing in my house?"
we are asking you the questions.
She says, "Yes, I understand. I see your weapons. And then she puts down the little tablet thing, and then she puts her hands like this. They're shaking. She's just very nervous.
I will ask you one more time. Why are your people here?
It's like, I'm sorry. We came here for safety and also to fight against our people's mortal enemies.
Who are your mortal enemies?
Well, of course, the Sawagin.
Who are they?
The Sawagin are they live
We know
underneath
this.
the water. Yeah, you're pretty familiar. If you live in the area, you've heard tales of Sawagin coming and
They're like
slaughtering.
evil mermaids,
They're like giants. They're basically like,
fish people.
if I'm 6 foot, they're like 7 or 8 foot. They're scaly, they're large, they have tridents, they hunt in packs, they kill entire villages of people or enslave
They're
them.
bipedal.
Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
They're very, they're messed up, but they're very warlike. But you don't know, but she's saying that that's what they're afraid of.
And that's why you have these advanced weapons?
But yes, we can't fight them with our very hands or the bones of our enemies. We must fight them with something stronger.
And if those from the Empire were to come, you would attack them as well?
Our goal isn't to fight the Empire, it's to fight the Sawagin, and if the Empire fought us, we would fight.
But if the Empire were to leave you in peace, you would in turn leave them in peace.
We see no reason to attack, we just want to live.
Do I believe she's being honest?
Roll insight.
I would like to roll that
would
as
be a
well.
9.
Can I roll that as well? Is that alright?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. I mean,
Natural 20.
You're both. You sense that she is very honest with what she's
She's
saying. to you.
terrified.
How terrified
Well,
she
she's
is.
also rolled a natural 1, so I mean
Yeah.
that's why I'm giving you the whole.
The whole spiel.
I mean, whatever she was going to do before, she's definitely on this. And she's like, and then she says,
Oh,
she stops and says, "Oh my, have you killed my people?"
no.
We have killed none of your people.
And you see her sigh, just like this.
And if you can provide us
Unless,
proof.
Unless your people were
Yeah.
the ones who attacked us.
I don't think
No,
they
they were
if you can provide us proof
Frogs.
of your
We don't know if they were first.
of your
frogs and lizards are not even the same species.
opposition to the Sawagin, then we will go on our way. None of your people will be harmed, and you may continue on all living your lives.
And you can get out of the swamp.
And she sits there for a second and says, we could leave, but they took her home and they are coming here.
The Sawagin.
They're much larger than we thought. They've got a whole fortress and they're taking and killing our people. We can't just leave. We might as well die here.
No. What I'm saying is, if you can provide me with proof of the Sawagin attacking you, then we will leave and you can stay.
And then she kind of sits there for a second, looking around, and she's, yes, we have a couple of captives, Sawagin captives. They don't talk, they just stare.
Then bring us one of them.
He's kind of like, okay, I guess we're doing this. We're gonna take one of those.
This was going to be a lot harder, but she rolled a natural 1, you rolled natural 20s, and it's just like, okay, sure, all right, let's just skip ahead and
You and I will give you my word that with passing that passing along that prisoner, that we will leave in peace and none of your people will be harmed.
She says, I appreciate that you have not killed already to get here. It obviously speaks to your abilities as warriors. But please, don't cause any fighting amongst them. They will kill you.
then we will be on our way. Direct your guards outside the door to bring us the prisoner. We will take that prisoner and we will leave in peace.
Okay.
I do have a question.
I would-
Yeah. Another natural one. I'm not making that up.
Very
We've had a lot of natural ones this time.
yeah. Go ahead.
She was supposed to be a lot
If you
harder
wanna
than
add-
this.
If you want to
it
add
kinda is killing
anything
me.
in, I'm just going for it
Uh-huh.
for what makes
Gosh.
sense.
No.
So I just have my own curiosity. So you may or may not recognize. How did you know that rat was not really a rat?
And she smiles and she's like, we have shamans that can do things like that, and I thought it was one of them spying on me yet again, but there's something different about you. I can smell you. You smell different.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Just curiosity.
We will allow you to keep one of the Salagin prisoners for your own benefit should they march on you. And if you will retrieve the other, we will be on our way quietly and without incident. All before the majority of your camp even awakes.
And you see her look around. She's still very shaken with another natural one. And she says, I respect those who give respect, and I appreciate your negotiation. I'm grateful you have not slain me in my room. I appreciate you have not slain any younglings or killed any of my friends. We will grant you this, but be warned, these Sarakin are not to be dealt with in any way other than harshness or severity. I don't know if they'll speak to you. They'll likely stab you, but if you think you can handle them, which it seems you have this ability, please.
They will remain tied and bound. They will remain bound through the rest of our trip. They will be our concern.
Fair enough. I believe calls the guns, and she speaks out loudly, and they come barging in the room for a second. And they have their spears at ready, and they start yelling to each other. And they look ready to attack, but clearly seeing that she's going, giving up the hand, like going like stuff. And she speaks to them, and they ask some questions back. They seem very rushed. After a couple minutes, they calm down and they start looking at all of you, and one gets really close and starts like smelling your hair as it gets close to you and just like looking at you. It's like really closely.
I'll have a hand on my dagger, but I will not have it drawn.
Sure, like an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
Okay, so they kind of just stand there, and then one runs off, and it's a bit nerve-wracking because you're not sure if she's faking it. You know for sure.
Yeah.
But the others are kind of like, are we about to get swarmed? Like you're in kind of an enclosed space and threatening the queen, so to speak. And while you're standing there, she's just very interested in all of you. She's just kind of looking at you all very closely and how you managed to get in here without any problems at all. And she says, might I inquire while we're waiting, how did you get past everyone? Because if there's a whole lot of fences, we must make sure it's patched up. And she's trying to find the words as she's trying to like assess what you guys did to get in here, because that makes her worry a lot.
We are not your average travelers that could infiltrate your camp.
We're highly skilled.
A certain set of skills. And sure enough, within a couple minutes, about 12 different soldiers show up in the room, and it seems a bit ominous, but they've been informed, it seems, because they're standing more at attention for the respect of their queen than they are ready to attack the people who are in the place with her, which is comforting. But she says, well, I do ask that you tell the people of Saltmarsh, was it? They need not worry about us as long as no one attacks other people. We will not attack them, but be rest assured, if they come to our land, we will probably kill them and eat them and use them for food for our children.
And while I cannot speak for the Empire or Saltmarsh, given this information of the Salagin, the Empire may protect you from them, be able to keep you separated from the Salagin.
And she nods her head and she says,
Yeah.
give them the regards of Queen Othakent. And she
What?
kind of bows her head. It's spelled O-T-H-O. Otho.
Otho.
O-T-H-O
K-E-N-T.
K-E-N.
Queen Othakent.
Alright.
And as you can see, she has several officers that are here. They're much larger and more terrifying
And what's
than
that?
the ones you saw that were patrolling.
What's that bad guy? Just show me and I will.
Salagin, it's
No,
S-A...
just show me. I'll.
Makes me think of One Punch Man.
Is that what?
It's
What
like the
does?
sea creatures, the subtle game.
Just show me.
Remember the
I'll,
Sea King?
I don't know where the word would be.
What, once they,
Could be one over here.
It's fine. You just do what you need to do. I'm not
Okay.
reading anything.
All
I'm
right,
just finding
that's fine. Anyway, it's S-A-H-U-A-G-I-N, I think. Alright. Anyway, yeah, so they bring a very large, scaled, blue, spined creature that looks insanely muscular and just ready to rip someone's face off. It's got long, like 4-inch claws. I mean, it's just a terror.
is it bound in a way that the
It
four
looks
of us?
beaten to hell.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it's been severely damaged, but I mean, it looks, if I were to put it in terms of you understand as players, bloodied. So a hit or two would kill it.
Okay.
Successful hits. But in regards to how it just looks, it's thrashing,
Can I-
but it's tied.
Can I
very
roll
heavily with cords.
can I roll, would it be a history to see if I'm familiar with this race?
Now,
This
they may
right
not
here?
all be this big, but this one
Yeah.
looks menacing. This is I'll get up
On
this
a
way.
history,
Yes.
I rolled a 14.
History. Okay, you've heard of them because you lived up in the woods past Saltmarsh to the northwest of here. You had to pass through area that people often talked about Salagin coming and killing. So it's kind of like what was originally like a fairy tale or a legend to scare people from the shores, especially children. It became more and more prevalent. So people are constantly not letting. I mean, there's guards at like every village now. I mean, it's come to a point where they seem to be increasing in attacks, or they're more bold, or whatever it is.
Well, if it would help to reduce panic within your camp, an escort from your camp would be appreciated.
And then she says to you, of course, Eotos can go with you. He's my second. And very long,
Eotos?
slim. Eotos. It's Ihrtos. He's like a sub-chief. Anyway, and he nods, and she says, but he doesn't speak your language.
That's fine.
He speaks death, and that's about it.
He need
And
only.
she smiles, nodding at him, and he just looks over at you with these like cold eyes, like barely, very like lizard-like, just kind of like a quick look, and that's
He
about
need
it.
only guide us out.
Yes, he would do just that. And she speaks to him, and he looks at her, and he makes like a little like hissing sound. His tongue comes out a little bit, and then he grabs the Salagin like by the spine and like breaks one of them, and just like grabs it harshly and starts yanking it out. And a couple of his guards have spears in its back, like are very afraid of it.
Then I'll. Is there anything else either of you wanted to add? I felt
This
like I
went
kind of.
tremendously well.
Yeah.
Like other than the natural one and the sneak, but other than that, you guys got out of it very well. All right, was there anything else that you wanted to do in there? Ask her anything?
I'll bow to the queen, and then we'll turn and exit.
And as you're exiting, Oceanus comes up to her, and he pulls a shell out of his pocket, and then he whispers into it for a second. You see it glow for a second, and you see him like put it to his head and put it out to her, and she takes it into her claws in her hand, and she looks at him, and he speaks to her, and you don't know what he says, but I mean it's just very quiet, and then she kind of just bows to him, and then he walks out, just kind of like just very calm and sleek, just that like weird elf walk where it's just really strange and fluid.
Yeah, like the ones that I did.
Yeah, very very similar. Yeah, but Oceanus very fluid.
Yeah.
You're more like
Uh-huh.
live. Anyway, so
I
as
am
you're-
like a leaf on the wind. He's like the tide going
precisely. That is precisely the way I think of it.
That was beautiful.
Right?
So poetic.
out.
So
Seriously.
as
You guys don't
as
even know what it's from.
as you're walking out, what is it from?
A leaf on the wind.
Watch
Oh, you break my heart. It's from Serenity.
out.
Firefly.
Is it Sea Firefly or
Well,
Watch Out?
Someday, yeah. But
Sorry to bring that up again.
It hurt my soul.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
so ingrained in there.
Yeah.
at any rate, you start to walk out and you make your way not through the hall. This time they're heading you a faster direction, which is through the camp. Little young hatchlings are watching you. And
Are
they're
they
just-
cute?
In a very
For-
hideous sort of way.
Oh.
Imagine in the same way that like a Komodo dragon is cute.
That being said, there are some that are like very small. They look like large lizards, bipedal, just standing up, just staring at you as you're walking out. Yet to grow
Like
the
the Geico
spines.
gecko?
Very much so.
Do
And there's a
I
couple
feel
of those.
like? I mean, cause
You feel like
I
as you're
firmly
walking,
say no to their insurance offers.
they'll protect you.
oh,
By
I'm
the way,
sorry, I've already signed up for this service.
By the
I
way,
don't need
apparently
it.
they're German, kind of. So.
how are lizard folk different from dragonborn? Is that what I'm called?
Quite a few differences. Dragonborn are a lot more
Well, I know I'm
noble.
a dragon.
Dragonborn
I'm
are
intelligent.
descendant of dragons. Lizard folks are just lizard folk. I mean, they're just kind of there. I mean, I'm sure
What do
there's
you
a
mean
whole
we're both
history.
Dragonborn are
reptiles?
more like stout and
Much
more
bulkier.
like imagine if you were to take
Rounded
like
nose.
a rounded kind of a shorter
Versus a point.
snout, and then lizards are more kind of almost like a
Breath
bipedal
weapons.
like alligator,
Yeah,
like
sure.
a long snout, a lot of spines, more feral looking.
You've seen some that have that like horny toad like
Mhm,
sticking out.
yeah.
And they just look like lizards.
Maybe
but
like the difference between a wolf and a dog.
precisely. Yeah, one looks a lot thinner and obviously menacing, but not nearly as
Right.
much as a dragonborn.
Or a wolf. and a
Imagine
goat,
the
maybe.
imagine the difference of like a very proud German shepherd to like a mangy coyote.
Mhm.
It's a good way to look at it. And as you're led out, you see
Am I
them all.
the? I'm just kidding. I know.
You're
They
the
all-
German shepherd.
They all look at you.
You're well bred.
Every one of them, just as they're passing, they all start lining up as you're leaving and they're all speaking to each other. And someone speaks in common, and he walks up behind you, and he looks like he's an officer. And he walks up to you behind you and says, he's like, "May Samuana guide you." And he comes up behind you and he hands you this little like opal, like this little black stone, and he hands it to you since you were the one that was kind of speaking. He was in the room with you. You don't know who that is, but you can insinuate it's some kind of god or goddess. I mean, it's weird for them to be holding on to something like a trinket. So he looks a little different. You do know that they get out and travel sometimes, and they learn to be more human, like humanoid. So
Like the ones that are on
you
our
can
ship.
insinuate, yes, you can insinuate that this one's a little bit more well versed in the world and less of a barbarian. But he kind of like ducks out, but he gives you that opal.
I'll take that and bow to it, like a light bow as I take
Sure.
it.
But the
Put
rest
it in
of
my
them,
put it in my
the rest of them just kind of stare at you in fear, mostly at the Saugeen.
yep,
Because this is like their nightmare, walking through their camp. You know what I mean?
yep.
But they seem to be glad. There's like, oh, good, they're taking at least one of them away,
Yep.
But you managed to get past the gates. They let you out. The queen actually comes out as well, and she does like a little bit of like her tail comes out, and she kind of like bows and moves with it. It's some kind of weird, farewell. But then you see her start to scream in her language at some guards, and she just starts to just ream them, and like one guy gets stabbed, and they like pull him away, and then the rest go back to work, and you see, the children like licking up the blood. I mean, that's their style.
Yeah.
Like it's just you. For a moment, you felt some nobility between them, but you did see the savagery behind them as you were leaving. They're still very much lizard folk.
Now it's just the 4 of us, right? It's Oceanus,
And then you three,
Alston, forget, Tatian, and Key. And I'll say in very
and of course now the Salagine.
and in very blatant terms, and if the Sawagin understands common, he will say this. I'll say, if this thing gives even the slightest bit of difficulty, we will kill it, and we will just take its head back. That will make the trip much easier.
Okay, and you see, it looks over at you, and just like it's really close, and he's like, "I understand you."
Was that a threat?
Very
much so. Half unsheathing the scimitar.
And you can see he's just very large, and actually, by the way,
I'm gonna
he
whip
has
him.
4 arms. He has 4 arms, 2 legs. He looks like this guy very much.
Let me see. Where's the list?
It's kind of fish-like.
Yeah.
But,
Do we have him in chains?
I don't know if you
very
agree
very strong
with that.
cords.
No, you probably
Okay.
would.
Yeah, I'm
Can
kind
I
of.
can I whip him? I'm gonna.
You have like
I'm gonna-
bones in your whips.
Well, no,
and
I
stuff
just
like
I
that.
whipped him with dragon tether.
Okay,
not
roll
my
for
style.
damage. Obviously, you're trying to incapacitate, right?
Well, I'm just trying to.
if it kills him, I'm just saying,
intimidate.
are you killing him or?
No,
Is
just
it-
trying to
It's
trying
meant.
to
It's
make
non-lethal.
Sure. Kind of what I'm going for.
just smacking him upside the head type thing. Wait, what do I just rolled damage? What is
It's
it?
angry.
What's a D6?
They don't all have
Is
forearms.
this a D6?
From what you know, this one just happens. to
So
have forearms.
did they just stop here?
They just like grows.
So
The little
fun
T-Rexes.
damage.
No forearms.
You hit him so hard he passes out for a second, and you guys have to like slap him out of it to wake him up. But the good news is he's still in a very weak state, which might be the best.
So when he wakes up,
Just lashes across him, opening up a huge wound.
when he wakes up, I'm gonna be over.
Huge
him.
wound.
I,
See, I just
Yeah.
do everything on accident.
so when he wakes up, I'm gonna be
Here, let me
over
help you
him,
with the poison.
and he's going to be gazing on my fearsome countenance. My gaze.
Tiny,
He-
fearsome countenance.
yes,
I love
he
it.
needs to roll a saving throw.
Okay, he rolled an 11.
It's charisma. That's a fail.
Oh, then he's at a 10.
So
He's not very charismatic.
Probably not. No.
so
Gosh, I can't imagine how that could have gone better.
so that means he's frightened and stunned at this point. And
Oh yeah, he's definitely frightened.
well,
He's confused and frightened.
yeah, with,
It worked
with
out.
added spell pressure on top of that.
Trust and no choice.
I can make your life very painful. You either cooperate, or we will drag this out, and you will not enjoy the last weeks of your life.
And
And that's
you see him wanting
I don't
to
know if
say
you need
something.
me to roll, but natural 20. I had advantage.
Yeah, you see him wanting to say something,
Mm-hmm.
but immediately just shakes up and he's trying to back away from you. Like you look like a nightmare to him, like the worst possible thing he's ever seen. And despite your size, despite what you are, to him you're a giant because you just are scaring him so bad. Like it's almost like a mouse to an elephant type situation where you're just so foreign to him.
Are elephants really afraid of mice?
It's a hypothetical, but
Oh,
but
I
not,
know what you mean, but I
not.
just
I imagine they just see it and they're confused. I mean, anything scurries by, it probably startles them.
I don't know. We're afraid of cockroaches, right?
that's true.
Spiders, little tiny
Spiders.
insects. But yeah, he's terrified of you, and the rest of the trip back to Saltmarsh is an easy one. He comes along, he glances over his shoulder all the time at you. He's very terrified. He's still like bleeding from his wound, like this massive gash from the bone snare that just ripped
No
through.
dragon tether.
That one's worse, actually. That one's got.
No, they're the same.
I know, but like design wise, that one's.
But Bone Snare has the bones in it. That one would hurt more.
Oh, true. Well, the other one has a
Let me look.
long blade at the end of it, like a shuriken. Like, is that what it's called?
Oh.
It's probably not what you're thinking, but
No,
the
it's like
shurikens
you
and
will-
the throwing like
This is
that. That's a.
I'm
I
just
can't remember the
throwing
name
knives,
of it.
just
Oh yeah, that's a
throwing
lot like a shuriken. Yeah, sure.
But anyway, yeah. So that one probably, if she used
Yeah.
that one, just embedded itself and she tore it out. So I mean, he's not
I
good.
forgot what they looked like. I'm gonna save this.
Anyway, so you make it back to Saltmarsh, and
Put
as you
this in
start,
my notes.
as you get closer to Saltmarsh, there's a couple fishermen on their way back that are just like looking up at this creature as you're walking, four-armed creature that's bound, and you're carrying it back, essentially, like pushing it, and a few guards ride out, to meet you, Imperial guards and also one local guard, 4 in total, and they say, "What beast are you bringing here?"
I already forgot the name of them.
Sawagin.
Sawagin.
this is business for the council. We need to.
The council has business with this,
See
and
them
you
urgently.
see one of them just poke it and go, and it just like,
Oh. You don't want to do that.
and you see the guy that you just said that to. He's like,
Do you question our authority? Now take us to the council.
"I'm sorry, who are you?" You this
Don't we
imperial,
have something?
this big like imperial like he's got like a frilly shirt, like gleaming ebony like plate. Like he just looks. It's just a breastplate.
Now, because I missed this, I forgot who commissioned us on this. It was the council. Was the one?
Just the council.
Was
You
it,
can just
was it
refer to them.
Eleander? Was that their name?
Eleander was one of them. But
Ada
yeah,
Galand.
yeah, she
I
was the
didn't
one
write
that
that
was
part
the
down.
main
She
one that
was-
was talking
Yeah.
at the time. They're all
Didn't
equal
they-
in most aspects.
Didn't they give us
At least
something?
they'd like to think so.
Like
like a symbol, like an
a
imperial
writ
symbol.
or something.
It's a great
I
question.
don't remember.
For the sake of, I believe we did
I
do
just-
something.
I thought
If
that
they
we
did, I
did.
didn't write it
I'm
down,
pretty
but-
sure we did.
Maybe.
I
Either way,
wrote it in the
with the
wrong
mention
places,
of the
guys.
council, they say, yes, but they are under our watch, so we will definitely bring him in. We're not going to just let you carry this thing through our town.
You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
handle him.
And you see him just look down at you, and he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't know there were children present. I should have spoken a lot quieter. Who are you?"
I want
Wrong
to smack
person.
him so bad.
He's just got like what he looks like a conquistador.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
please do
That's what he
something.
looks like.
We're like, oh, okay. I'm going to.
You recognize him as like an actual
Okay.
like official.
Well,
like,
I say
imperial.
how dare you speak to Captain Alston Dreadclaw in that manner?
In single. Please, that's your captain.
Can we all roll a group intimidation?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And I think Oceanus should be involved in
I
this.
think so
By all
too.
means, you see him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
That's 21
And
for
did.
me.
I
he,
rolled 20s and 1s like
Intimidation.
consecutive.
for me, that's a 17.
I did a 17
That's
as well.
21 for me.
So
Yeah,
20, 17, 17, 21.
Tell me how you're intimidating.
This would be
Natural
on
one.
his end.
this would be an immediate of
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
launching
I'm not making
into
this up. You
yeah.
saw. I'm not.
This
fucking
would be
with you.
us leading into our illustrious titles of how we have captured ships on the sea
I kinda feel like-
single-handed.
I kind of feel like I don't want to say anything, that we
Yeah.
shouldn't say anything, that we
Yeah.
should just like stare at him. You know,
Like,
kind of like take with this little, this,
like flick the blade, just like
Yeah.
a little bit out of the hilt. Type
and I
thing.
like,
just like
kind of uncoil my whip a little, casually, I feel like that's more intimidating.
Yeah,
than,
I would
like,
agree.
talking about-
And
And-
I'm
You know
gonna
what I
use
mean?
thaumaturgy to change my eye color.
Yeah.
awesome.
Black.
That's a good idea.
Black.
Yeah. Like all black. Like,
And with
no
all
light.
of that,
Yeah.
I'll say
I'm gonna
it'd
say
be like
advantage
this.
on that
yeah.
roll because you change your physical appearance to look more
So
menacing.
it was already a 21, but
Okay.
now it's 22.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's slightly more terrifying.
So with that, with
Your eyes
us
turn black.
all intimidating,
That's slightly more terrifying.
I'll lean into him and very
He's on
quietly
a horse,
say,
so.
I'll lean toward him
and I'll say it very quietly. Now take us to the council.
And he says, he looks at everybody, he looks back at his man, he says, Sana. Yes, I misspoke. I see that you have been through some things, and clearly you have this thing. What is it?
This is what is known as a sawagin. Are you familiar with this?
I've heard the tales of children.
This is straight from
It's
your nightmares.
almost as big as him. Like it's on his horse. It's like it's about his chest. So
Oh,
I
he's
mean,
on a horse?
yeah,
Oh,
they're all horses.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
this.
And he says, just take care and not let it loose.
Oh no!
But I mean, of course, you can do that.
Did I misunderstand? No, you are taking us to the council.
Yes, of course. He takes off his helmet. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm new to the post. No trouble. Let's go. And
Well,
he just-
before we leave, I think you owe our captain an apology.
and he goes. He actually started to trot away, and you see him just stop and put down his head, and you can't see him. You just see his head. He puts his head down. His like floppy black hair just gets in his way, and he brushes it back and straightens his mustache. Gets off the horse and gets out. Says, "I'm sorry, Captain. I am. I'm truly sorry. Didn't mean any offense. I didn't know you were a captain."
I don't like the way you're talking down to me.
It's with a natural 1. He does
I'm
get
loving
down to your
this.
inspiration point, by the way.
I'm loving this.
So he like gets on his knees and kind of like leans in. Is this more what you would prefer, Captain?
Too close.
He backs up to like on his knees, but like almost sitting on his feet, like his heels, as he's kind of like kneeling in the middle of the road. And just like you see him just look terribly uncomfortable and angry, like you like angry, seething, but like knowing that he can do nothing about this.
How dare you insult our captain by being down on your knees? Get off your knees right now.
You're wasting our time. Let's go.
Yes, I'm sorry.
When he stands up, I kind of just go like this.
You knock on the back of the head, and he's just like,
We're
I
making
love
an
that.
enemy.
yeah, oh yeah, he's gonna be a thing.
That's fine.
No,
Hey, he spoke down to us.
Yeah.
first,
I
so-
love it.
This is wonderful. That's a great end. In taking us to the council.
And as you're walking back, he's like, so I understand. Okay, now I know who you are now. I'm familiar. My father did say he was sending some people. Admiral Bogue. And that's why we're stopping.
He hired us. He hired us for the mansion.
Yeah.
That's so nice of you to remember us now.
So we scared them.
That's all
Put
right.
the fear of Asmode.
No, I'm glad because
It's-
we don't like.
We put
We don't like
Ambrose in
Admiral.
his place. That's what this guy makes me think of.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, you
Is
need
that
to
where
read
we're
those
ending
books.
for the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it was appropriate to end to find out that
We
he's
don't
the
like
son
that.
of it.
But we don't
Admiral
like
Bogue.
that admiral.
No, not the Emperor in general sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot that we were live and playing a game in front of you, which is good because that makes us play better. I hope everyone had a great time. I know we did. So, as usual, it starts off a bit like we're getting into character. But anyway, he's dancing behind the camera. So, anyway, may your rolls always be natural ones, just not natural ones like the name of our channel. And like I rolled tonight, seriously.
I rolled a few too.
We'll see you later.
Too.